Milestone is here repairing our air conditioning, and Alan can't wait to tell everyone about it.
Milestone fixed our AC. Milestone fixed our AC.
We fix, install, and maintain your AC. Call Milestone today for the Milestone tune-up for just $129.
Hello, and thank you for tuning in to Cave Chatter. My name is Justin. I'm here with Cameron and Brooks on September 21st. How y'all doing today?
Doing fan-freaking-tastic today, Justin. Cowboys got themselves into the win column yesterday. Got me some wins.
Not yesterday. The Packers won yesterday.
Oh, sorry.
2
What's
days
today?
ago.
Tuesday.
Go Pack, go. Yeah, we're a day late on our episode.
Yeah, day late, so Tuesday today. Sunday, Cowboys got their first win. They're going to get win number 2 this week against the freaking Eagles. That's pretty much a cakewalk.
Eagles fly.
Okay. But as in terms of fantasy, decent week. Got more success in the DraftKings world than I did in my actual fantasy teams. But how about you, Brooks?
I'm doing good today, y'all. I lost in our league this week, so I'm no longer undefeated after week 2.
Who's our only undefeated team in our league?
You're not the only undefeated
He
team.
actually is.
I am.
Right. Oh, Colin's not undefeated.
Yeah. So our 8-team league, 6 teams are 1-1. Justin's 2-0, and Drew is 0-2 with a terrible team. And ironically, who Justin beat this week, who got lucky that he faced a terrible team. That's how you're 2-0. That's okay. That's okay. You got some losses on the way.
We'll see. I actually went 8-2 this week in fantasy. Great weekend. Bounce back weekend, and I won $140 in DraftKings. So I'll take it.
Nice. There you go. I went 3-2 this weekend.
Okay, so I went 4-2. So I thought
I
I did worse than I did. Just the 2 games I lost were in our league and then in one of my money leagues. So
I'm finally back to even. I'm 500 for the year now.
Oh, total?
I have all my leagues.
Yeah. Did you predict a 8-0 start to your season?
10-0.
Because you're in 10 leagues.
I'm in 11, but I only count 10. The 11th league is our little fun Cave Chatter league.
Jeez. And what did I bet you? I said that you. What did I bet you? $1,000 you wouldn't go undefeated in week 1?
Yeah.
So where's my money?
Somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
speaking of money, hold on. I won $100 on the Cowboys game this week, so that's something to cheer about. Thank you.
Who'd you bet against?
I bet Drew.
Did you go through a legal?
I went through the legal channels, which is friend to friend. That is 100% legal. It was a.
Did he really bet you $100?
He really bet me $100 straight up. No point. I even tried to work in the points. I tried to get the 3.5 points for the Cowboys. I felt more comfortable that way, but we ended up winning outright anyway. So yeah, I won $100
Which
from
is
him.
weird because Drew is our cheapest friend by far.
He thought he was gonna sucker me out of $100. That's why. He knows I'm a homer. Yeah. But I'm not going to bet on the Cowboys if I don't actually think they're going to win. I would not have bet $100 on the Tampa Bay game. There's no way. But against the Chargers, I thought, okay.
I thought you were a big Herbert fan.
Huge Herbert fan. I thought it was going to be a high-scoring game.
Yeah.
So I thought Herbert was going to have a lot more success than he did this week.
Well, so our agenda today is we're going to talk about some injuries. I know there's a couple of key injuries that happened this weekend, and then we will lead into the overachievers of the weekend. And last but not least, the main segment will be kind of our mindset behind why we start, who we start in the decision-making process. I know sometimes when you do have a solid bench, it is hard to decide who you should play. And it's almost like, I don't know about y'all, but all week I insert and take people out and put them back in, take them out, put them back in.
Yeah, that's the worst part. And especially it's like sometimes on Sundays I'll have to like not check my lineup.
Yeah.
Unless I know like there's somebody who's questionable for a game, right? If it's like an injury related, I'll check it. Yeah. But if I've set my lineup the day before, I'm like, look, I don't want any of those last second, quick decisions to ruin me.
Yeah, I completely screwed myself this weekend. I had Derek Carr in there.
I hope you don't have David Carr.
I took Derek, literally every other day I swapped Derek Carr and Mac Jones out. And I finally said, you know what, Mac Jones is playing the Jets.
Uh-huh.
And then Mac Jones got 7 points and Derek Carr got 37 and I lost. So I will not make that mistake ever again.
Right, and what did I text you the other day? I said you deserve to lose based off that.
You did, and I didn't respond.
Exactly. That's not a decision I would ever. I'm not starting a rookie quarterback over
One of my
a proven
leagues,
veteran.
I lost by 0.4 points. I'm so mad.
Was that to your sister?
Yes. So in our family league, I am 0-2 against my mom and my sister.
So what you're saying is they should probably be sitting in here.
I was gonna say, do we need to replace?
So I saw my mom right before I came over here, and she said, "Are you sure you don't need me to go to fill in for you?"
Wow.
Yeah, my mom talking the shit.
It's trash talk from mom.
Wow.
I'm glad I can't. I'm glad that's not me.
God bless.
Cameron's mom's like his biggest fan. She
would probably lose on
comments
purpose.
like every post.
She would probably lose on purpose if we played in fantasy. She would send all her best players. She's like, oh, I don't want to beat him.
Yeah. So,
At
what do we
least
got?
I didn't lose to my wife in week 1.
That's true.
I let her win.
That's true.
Oh,
I didn't want to sleep on the couch.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, injuries. What you got for us, Brooks?
A lot of quarterback injuries this week. Tua, Andy Dalton, Tyrod Taylor. I think there was one more, wasn't there? Or is that it?
No, that
I
sounds
don't know,
like
you're
everybody.
the doctor.
Yeah, Dr. Brooks. There's so many injuries. It's
Yeah,
hard to
there's a
keep.
bunch.
It really was. And
Jarvis got hurt.
Jarvis is on. Got put on IR.
Yeah,
actually,
There was rumors Odell might be making his return.
he better at this point, and
Yeah.
that's actually pretty good because I've got Odell in a couple of leagues, kind of like a late round pick type of guy, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, Jarvis Landry got put on IR today, so that's a big blow.
How
Tyrod
long,
Taylor got put on IR today.
how long's Tua out? We still don't know, huh?
He's day to day.
Yeah.
I know he's day to day because they
Is it
said
the same hip he hurt in college?
no. Tua has
Oh, it's
ribs.
ribs, yes.
Yeah,
Ribs.
and they did
Bruised
X-rays on him.
ribs.
Negative X-rays, no broken ribs, no fractures, nothing like that. So that's good.
Yeah, they just saw that he's a bad quarterback.
Did you not see the play that happened? The line just didn't block the edge rusher.
Yeah.
It just came free and killed him.
I wouldn't block for him either if he cost me my playoff chances last year.
He didn't.
Yeah, they pulled Fitz and he literally blew it the whole season.
He was a rookie. He's a rookie.
They were on pace to make the playoffs.
That was a good AFC last year. So
Yeah, it was.
they won. They went 10-6 and missed the playoffs.
Because of Tua.
They won 10 games.
Tua went like 3-3.
Okay, that's not terrible. They won 10 games. In a normal year, they would have made the playoffs.
Fitzpatrick was throwing for 400 yards a game and got benched.
Well, and also last year they expanded the playoffs, didn't they? So that's even worse.
No, that's this year. Oh, that was sorry,
Yeah.
that was last year that they started that. Yeah, so. Yeah, and still to win 10 games and not make the playoffs, that's insane. That's how
So-
loaded the AFC is.
Do you pick up Davis Mills
I do not.
in
No.
deep quarterback leagues, like 2 quarterback leagues, super flex?
Maybe.
I hope for the listeners out there that they do not have to resort to that.
I might. Because Zach Wilson has been doing awesome.
Trash.
But the upside with Zach Wilson is so much higher than Davis Mills.
Yeah, he might throw 3 interceptions instead of 4.
Well,
He has let me down tremendously. I was so high on him.
I was too. I loved him.
Freaking Jets. They just
it's the
ruined
Jets,
people.
man. It's the Jets. That's
Afraid
why.
don't draft BYU quarterbacks.
Who else is from BYU?
Taysom Hill.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say who. That's a good point, Brooks. That's a good point. I didn't even think of Taysom Hill, but so to your question. It depends on how deep your league. I can't see anything more than like a 12-team league doing a 2 quarterback or a super flex, and even then, most players, if you're smart, have a backup quarterback.
Unless you're in a 14-team league with 2 quarterbacks.
That's
or you're in
brutal.
18
Super
league
flex.
and you're me.
That's brutal.
I'm in a 14-team league with a super flex.
If you're that
Zach
desperate,
Wilson?
then yes, okay, I could see you taking a flyer on Davis Mills.
I won, and Zach Wilson had negative 2 points. I will take that any day.
Very impressive.
That's almost impossible.
Right?
In a super flex league, if your 2 quarterbacks don't put up points, you're almost guaranteed a loss. You know?
My other quarterback's Teddy Bridgewater, so that tells you who I'm looking at there.
That's your 2 quarterbacks?
I waited until as late as possible.
All the quarterbacks were taken off the board?
No, I drafted Cam Newton and then he got beat out.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I drafted him in one of my leagues, so I actually picked up Derek Carr, which is
There you go.
very
A blessing
nice.
in disguise right
Yes.
there. Derek Carr, man. Everybody sleeps on Derek Carr. Not me.
I like Derek Carr. I just
Not
don't trust
me.
him.
I've always thought Derek Carr was great.
I've always liked him. I always liked the Raiders.
What'd
Las
you say?
Vegas Raiders.
Oh.
I always like Derek Carr until he gives you a 5-point game. That he's always due for every year.
Whatever. He'll do it, but so does almost every quarterback.
Even Rodgers.
Exactly.
Even
Even the great Aaron Rodgers put up.
I think
Literally lost me a
I
game
think
last
besides Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady.
Yeah, I think Mahomes is. That's a good point. I want to know.
Mahomes'
What
lowest?
Mahomes? Yeah, I'm going to check real quick what his lowest point total for a game last year. I think he still had his. He had 12 points at Denver last year, so I mean, it's still double digits, but that's not really hard to do if you're a quarterback.
Yeah.
So it's just, that no, did he get hurt in that game last year? Maybe,
I think that might have been the game he got hurt in.
or was that? That might have been actually a couple years ago when he dislocated his kneecap. Yeah, that was a couple years ago, actually. But anyways, so that's all the injuries we had.
Or you could be Dak, who got 7 points last week.
This past week?
Yeah, this past week, yeah.
Really?
I have him as my quarterback. He got like 7 points.
I think it depends on what type of league you play.
I was gonna say even in a standard scoring league, he did
Yeah, I have him. Trust
7.5 points. Oh, because he had no touchdowns. That's why.
me. Yeah,
And no rushing yards. Yeah, that's brutal.
yeah.
But he didn't have a bad game or like that's the unfortunate part about fantasy,
Yeah.
man. It's it's like guys can have good games and have terrible fantasy games, or guys can have great fantasy games and really didn't do that well in their actual game.
I was literally having that conversation today with somebody about Zeke. And I was like, he actually had a good fantasy game, but an awful like real life game.
This week,
Yeah, like he actually put up decent numbers for fantasy.
he
But
found
in
the
real
end
life,
zone.
if you watched him, he didn't look solid at all.
I thought he looked pretty good. He
I
had
will
some
say
pretty
he-
long runs.
But I'm
Yeah,
talking about like when
compared to
Pollard
like his
going in
last.
there.
Well, look, we're not going to get started on that.
Yeah.
Pollard had one big run.
Pollard had several really
I
good
picked
runs.
up Pollard in our league, so hopefully I get him on the waivers.
Pollard, what? You probably shouldn't say that to everybody.
He goes through tomorrow, so.
Oh, that's true. So anybody, I didn't even know he was available in our league. I might go ahead and throw a little waiver
I
on him.
think I already did too, so we'll see.
Oh,
We will see. Before we get into the main segment, I do have a cave nugget for y'all today.
yes.
I know I let y'all down last
You did
week.
you let everybody down last week. I can't
Yeah,
believe
I apologize to my viewers,
I'm
terrible
getting this
host.
one right.
my followers.
Oh, that's right. Is this one for this season?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, most of the cave nuggets from now on will be season stats.
Okay, they better be.
So, what quarterback has the highest completion rating
Come on.
in the NFL right now?
Completion percentage?
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say.
You say that every cave nugget.
Justin Herbert.
No.
No, I actually think.
He's not even top 5.
Oh, well, he completed like 16 straight passes against the Cowboys, so.
I want to say.
No, while you're looking at
I'm
I want
literally
to say, let me
No,
Google
I'm
this
literally
real
just
quick.
looking at. I'm trying to find Dak because I can't remember what he did last week. Because I know this week he only had like 2 incompletions.
Dak's not even top 10.
Is Herbert top 10?
No. Okay. I think it's Teddy Bridgewater.
No, he's not even top 5.
Alright, my turn.
There's no way.
I'll get one final guess.
I get 2. He's had 2. Tom Brady.
No, not even top 10.
Oh, Jimmy Garoppolo.
No, okay. Y'all are all wrong.
I get one more.
Is it a terrible quarterback? Tell me.
No, he's a very smart quarterback.
Matt Ryan.
I said smart.
Quick
Not-
guessing.
not-
Sorry.
Oh.
Sorry.
Just because he has gray hair doesn't mean he's wise.
Oh,
I just looked up the.
Let's just guess every
I just looked
team.
up the answer. I'll give you a hint, Brooks.
No.
We have said his name already today.
is it Kyler?
No.
Who is it?
Who is it here?
Tyrod Taylor.
No. It's Kirk Cousin.
Kurt. What?
The adjusted completion percentage of the year.
Oh, come on! You didn't say adjusted completion
completion.
percentage. Are you kidding me? Get out of here with
Adjusted
that.
is just right after all the stats come in. What do you mean?
So who's the actual?
The actual is Tyrod Taylor. His completion percentage right now is. This almost doesn't seem real. It's not real. That was just my bad. That was just for week 2.
Yeah.
Oh
Kirk
man,
Cousins-
this is a mess right now. I was
Kirk
just looking at
Cousins
week
is
2.
86.3 completion rating
Percentage for the season. So that's completion percentage above expected.
Yeah.
Or adjust. Is that
Adjusted-
CPOE
No,
or
ADJ.
adjusted
Adjusted
completion
completion
percentage?
percentage. Kirk Cousins.
Get out of there with that mess. Dak Prescott, in terms
58.
of actual completion percentage, is number 2. That's why I thought it was Dak Prescott. Baker Mayfield is number 1 in actual completion percentage, which I would agree. I prefer adjusted
Yeah.
to actual, and I prefer completion percentage over expected to actual completion.
Kirk
If
Cousins.
you said adjusted, I would have guessed Kirk Cousins.
I would have too.
Right.
I really would have.
Not even guessing him
I
at
really
all.
would have.
Because
Because you said
it's
actual.
adjusted.
Yeah, now
Kirk
we know it's
Cousins is
adjusted.
58 for 81. That's pretty impressive.
And that's the best adjusted?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Dak Prescott has the most completed completions.
Well, yeah, he had
65.
40 something in week 1.
48 for 61.
My man. I mean, how many other guys can do that?
Nobody.
Aaron
Week
Rodgers.
1.
You saw what he did week
Are
1.
you serious? I actually have.
Yesterday.
I have Aaron. Well, I'll tell you. I have Aaron Rodgers in a point per completion league, and he only had 22 completions last.
Out of 20, like 6 passes.
No, I'm not saying that's
No,
bad.
that's
I'm just
insane.
saying that that's not 40. That's all I'm saying. So that was a good cave nugget. I would give you a C+ for that cave nugget because
F minus.
you didn't tell us correctly.
Oh my gosh.
I'm generous. And I'm fair.
Whatever.
Okay.
Let's lead into our main segment. I know a lot of people are going to enjoy this particular
Our
subject.
pre-main.
Pre-main.
Yeah.
My bad.
yeah.
Yes.
Just
My
skip
bad.
right over. I'm about to. I want to talk about one of my favorite players in the NFL.
Our pre-main. We're going to talk about overachievers for the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let Cameron take off with this one.
So my main man this week on my my one pick for overachiever this week is going to be Cooper Kupp. Love me some Cooper Kupp, man.
That's a fake mark.
Love me Cooper Kupp. I'm so mad. I had him in our league, in our dynasty league. I had him the past 3 or 4 seasons. I loved him. Love Cooper Kupp. He's one of my favorite players in the NFL.
He finally has a real quarterback.
He finally has a real core, and I'm so mad at myself that I didn't draft him. This is one of those. I don't know if this is something I've said before. This is one of those players where, like in the middle of the year or towards the end of the year, you kick yourself because you're like, how did I not? Like obviously he was going to have a good year. Him and Matthew Stafford just have the ultimate connection. In his 2 games played, he had 10 targets in week 1, 11 targets this week. He had 9 catches, 163 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
I thought you were super high on Robert Woods.
I was.
I was gonna say that's nothing I've ever said before.
What happened with that?
I don't know why.
Cooper Kupp.
He's their best receiver by far.
Look, Robert Woods is great. Don't get me wrong.
He's not their best. He's the most athletic wide receiver.
I disagree with that. Deshaun Jackson's one of his wide receivers.
Deshaun Jackson's 40 years
He's
old.
still a freak athlete.
And he's also their 4th wide receiver. But yes, okay, if you want to be literal, Deshaun Jackson might be a better athlete than Robert. But I understand where you're coming from, Brooks. Robert Woods has 3 catches week 1, 5 catches this past week. So
Yeah.
not bad, average. But we're not talking about him. We're talking about Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
How incredible he is. How freaking almost 37 points in a standard PPR league. I mean, he is, like I said, him and Matthew Stafford just have that connection. And he's always open. That's the one thing, like I said, I've had him in years past,
Always.
and I watch Rams games, and I would get so frustrated with Jared Goff because he was always open. Cooper Kupp, middle of the field, side of the field, doesn't matter. He's open. So Matthew Stafford in there, he's looking and was it the opening week game? All they did was talk about how him and Matthew Stafford are like up every morning, talking to each other, going over plays. So, you know, whether or not he's actually
What was that?
What the heck?
Stupid TikTok y'all sent me, and it was a.
Are we gonna have to license that?
No, it's.
I think we're in trouble now, guys. I think we just got it.
Well,
Well, don't open it.
I'm trying to look up some stats and TikTok.
just close out the app, Grandpa. You don't know how the phone works.
Oh, kids, they'll keep
Jeez.
sending me TikToks
Oh
all
my
day.
gosh. Well, there's live recording there for you.
Anyways,
Justin, you're the second youngest out of our group.
You are actually.
yeah, but I have 2 kids, married, so I beat all y'all.
I'm married.
Well,
2 kids.
that's true. So anyway, that's probably the end of my spiel for Cooper Kupp. Number 1 receiver in fantasy so far through 2 weeks.
To add on to that, though, you were completely right. Every time I see Cooper catch a football, there's no one near him.
Nobody open.
It drives me insane.
Obviously, it helps having the weapons that they do, right? It helps having a great scheme that the Rams have, a great offensive
A
coach.
solid running back, he's a role player.
Good
And
running
a
back.
great quarterback.
Yes. All of
Go
those
Texas.
things contribute to, you know, having him get open and Stafford's finding him. And I don't expect these numbers to continue because, I mean, these are insane numbers.
I expect it.
You expect 9 for 163 and 2 touchdowns every week.
100 yards a game.
If he has 100 yards a game, I mean, he's bordering on one of the best seasons in NFL history.
But look how open he is. It's unreal.
I know, I understand. And, I mean, they do have a pretty favorable schedule in terms of defenses that they go against. So, like,
Yeah, who they're facing is it? Nah.
well, this week, not so much.
Yeah,
this week they
facing
face Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay, yeah.
Which, I mean, you saw the Cowboys and the Falcons did it to them too. The weakness in that Tampa Bay defense is through the air.
Yeah.
They're not going to try to run the ball against them. You can't run the ball
Secondary's
against.
super weak.
Yeah, so actually might have a pretty good game this week. Yeah. So I expect Cooper Kupp to continue to put up good numbers. My bold prediction, not going to be so bold. He will finish as a top 5 fantasy wide receiver this year.
I could see that. All right, Brooks, who's your overachiever?
My overachiever is Kyler Murray. He is balling out this year. Allen, Texas zone.
Yes, sir. Pride of the Dallas area.
Yes, sir. He is the top fantasy scorer this year. He is balling out. He's got like 66 points, averaging 33 points.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
Through 2 games.
Through 2 games, yeah. And he's my early pick for an MVP. I mean, I think he's going to continue this throughout the year, and this is finally going to be the year where he takes that step to getting into the playoffs.
Until he gets hurt.
He's not getting hurt. He's not running as much this year, I've noticed. He's staying more in the pocket.
Right.
He loves his new rookie receiver, too.
Even though he can't see over the pocket at 5'9".
Right. Sorry, bro, I don't want to cut you off. Just real quick. So 5 rushes week 1 and week 2.
Yeah.
Which last year he had over 10 carries in a game. Quick math, 7 times.
D-Hop was actually hurt a lot last year, too. So
Yeah.
That doesn't help.
True. But keep going. Sorry. I didn't mean to cut
No,
you
you're
off.
fine. I like hearing that. But yeah, I think this year he's going to stay healthy. He's an early pick for my MVP vote that I have.
You really think he's going to win MVP?
I do, yes. You don't?
Yeah, he
He has a chance. I think they might make it to the Super Bowl. I don't know about MVP.
So you're more confident in a Super Bowl pick than you are an MVP pick?
Yeah.
Really?
That offense is lethal.
That's insane.
And you know why they're lethal? Because of their quarterback.
Yeah.
Because D-Hop's the greatest receiver to play in a decade.
No,
When's the last time Calvin Johnson played?
like 8 years ago.
Well, then I
Almost
agree
a
with you,
decade.
Justin. I agree with you.
Like it's 2014, I think. So I disagree with you as well. But he's a top 3 receiver right now.
D-Hop? Oh, of course.
Yeah.
The
Well,
guy is
he's a top 2 receiver, and he
his
ain't
routes
2.
are unreal.
Yeah, top 2. Yeah.
Top 2, and he ain't number 2 though.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm very big on Kyler Murray this year. He's been balling out, and I think he's going to continue that for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
I really hope so. He's one of the,
I like
genuinely, he's one of the guys who I root for every Sunday. Obviously, like we said, he's from around here.
We used to
we
go
watched
watch
him.
in like three straight state championships.
Whenever he was dominating Texas high school football, we were watching him. So I loved him then. Unfortunately, could not root for him in college. He went to A&M and then transferred to OU, my two most hated schools.
Our quarterback at Hendricks was actually his backup at
Allen,
and he was a freak athlete too.
Yeah. So I'm just taking advantage of being able to actually root for him again in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
I was 1 year early on the Cardinals. I don't know if y'all remember. I was very high on them last year.
I do remember that, yeah.
Very high. It turns out I was just 1 year too early.
They have a lot more weapons this year.
I agree. Rondale Moore, to kind of go off on a little tangent, Rondale Moore is going to be one of the sneaky best picks of the NFL draft. He, like you said, Kyler Murray 2.0. When there was a play Sunday where he threw it to him, like swinging out towards, it was a short pass, but it literally looked like he was throwing
like Kyler
to
Murray
himself.
Kyler Murray the second.
It literally looks like he's throwing him to himself. They're built the same.
Yeah.
They have, look, but
AJ Green even had some.
AJ Green looks
40,
good.
44 yards, like 6 receptions, I think.
Okay, I don't have it pulled up, but yeah, he looks good too. They have weapons around him. The
Chase
tight end
Edmonds.
too. Chase Edmonds
He's
did
had
good.
100 yards every game, like 65 on the ground,
You
45.
can't forget about Larry Fitz.
Yeah.
Well,
He's
not
just-
there.
Oh, that's right. I keep thinking he's still there. Is he a free?
He's a free agent.
Yeah, they didn't sign him.
No, but he's not officially retired though.
Christian
That's
Kirk?
the great part. I know Christian Kirk's kind of like the forgotten guy, but he's still
Sneaky.
good.
I got him in like my bench at like 4
They
weeks.
are absolutely loaded. So I agree. I really hope this is the year that they break through. It's going to depend on Kyler Murray's
So
health.
MVP.
I definitely
If
can
we're
see
going to
it.
talk about that segment, who do you think will win the MVP?
Like right now, if I had to bet,
Yeah, right now.
Tyler.
2 weeks.
if I had to bet, I would bet on Kyler right now.
Really?
Hmm?
Who do
No
you
doubt.
think?
Who do I think?
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady, Derrick Henry.
No. Stop.
Derrick Henry would not.
Eventually
win.
they
Henry
have to
can't.
give him
You
one.
Don't. He already
If the
had.
guy has
He
ran
already
for
had
2,000
one bad
if he
game
runs
this
for
year.
2,000 yards, he deserves. But
Yeah,
if he-
but
Well, he ran for
he
2,000
ran
last
2,000,
year.
and they still have. They have to give it to him
No,
eventually.
you don't.
The guy is a monster.
He's He's already had one bad game through 2 games.
yeah.
He's going to have to be perfect throughout the rest of the season. That's just too much. Quarterback is the most valuable position in football.
All I know
so you
is-
can only have the most
all I
valuable
know
player at that position.
Tom Brady wins MVP at 44 years old. He will go down as the greatest quarterback to ever play the game.
Here's
no,
the thing.
no discussion.
I
He
think
already-
like
he already is.
mid-season, he's going to slow down a lot, I believe.
Brady?
Yeah.
It's very
No chance.
it's possible. Well,
He has literally 3 lethal receivers that could all be wide receiver ones. Any team they step.
yes, of course. The good thing about it,
With one of the greatest offensive scheme coaches in the NFL.
yeah. So last year, obviously, they were like 500 halfway through the season. It took them a while to click. They've won like 10 straight games, including the playoffs. Once they clicked, they've scored 30 points in 8 straight games.
Yeah.
And they don't even run the football.
That's insane. Well, I know they don't have to because Tom Brady's that good. So it's hard to bet against him, but I would still. It's kind of like there's always a storyline to the MVP every year. Like last year, Aaron Rodgers was his resurgent year. He was coming off 2 back-to-back average
He was
seasons,
Unreal last year.
and last year was insane. It's like, which one do you think would be a better story? Is Tom Brady,
Tom Brady
at
at
44
44 years old?
or this Kyler Murray coming in here and lighting up the league, finally leading his team to the playoffs? Right now, my money would be on Kyler.
Yeah.
If I had to bet. I would have to see the odds. The odds make a difference. So
I'm not like totally against Kyler. I just think it's really early. Third year guy, third year guy.
if I had to rank my top 3, it would be 1 Kyler, 2 Brady, 3 Derek Carr.
Derek
right
Carr,
For
Yeah.
MVP voting, yeah.
Yes.
he does lead the league in passing yards right now.
And his team's 2-0.
Yeah.
It's 2 weeks of the season, you know. You're gonna have every single year.
I
You're
love
gonna
Derek
have names on the list in week 2 that by the end of the year you're like, really?
I agree. All right, so my overachiever is Tyler Lockett. The guy,
It's almost not an overachievement at this point.
yeah,
You know?
the guy in 2 games has 12 receptions, 278 yards, and 3 touchdowns. His longest, week 1, 69 yards, week 2, 63 yards.
He's insane.
Insane. I
That's
have him in
crazy.
a couple of leagues, and it's unreal what he does in the second quarter. You know what his stat line is in the second quarter?
No. Do you?
Yeah, I do. I got it right here. Second quarter. The man has 4 receptions, 4 targets, 144 yards, and 36 yards per reception of 2 touchdowns. Second quarter.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's 2 minutes left in the half. 104 yards.
Wow.
Well, he did have 2 long touchdowns
Yeah.
both week, one each week.
Yeah.
He right now is averaging 23 yards a catch.
Yes.
If that plays out over an entire season, especially with the volume that he gets, I don't have any stats because I wasn't prepared for that. I don't have anything to like base that off of, but that would have to be one of the best in NFL
Oh, yeah.
history.
And this, if you have him and it's second down, just know the ball's going to him. Second down, 7 receptions, 8 targets, 159 yards, 2 touchdowns.
That must be, you know what it is. Second down is their shot down.
Yeah.
Because the most maddening thing about the Seahawks is they will die on their first down runs.
Yeah.
They love running the ball on first down. It's infuriating. And so they're like, all right, well, we got 1 yard on first down. Hey, Tyler, go deep.
Yeah. It's always up the middle, too. 92 yards up the middle.
Yeah, that's where he catches all his balls.
Yeah.
If he's on the outside, he'll run his post pattern.
Post route. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's there.
I am so glad. I literally traded DeAndre Swift and someone else for Lockett.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was.
In our league?
No,
or
it was it was our Yahoo league we play in. It was a bad trade.
It was good for me.
Oh, great for you. Was it? It had to be another receiver.
Yeah, I can tell you here real quick. I think it was DeAndre Swift and Waddle, maybe?
I think it was. I want to say that it was. 'Cause I remember seeing it. I'm like, that was. No. Because Waddle was a free agent. I picked Waddle up this week off the waiver wire,
I'll tell you
so
what.
it couldn't have been Waddle.
Y'all can talk about.
But
It's more about Lockett. I'll
Yeah.
talk about.
him and Russell Wilson will.
Oh, it was DeAndre Swift and Ezekiel Elliott.
Oh, both.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a
But
little bit in your favor.
for sure, Lockett has put up, for me, 62 points in 2 weeks.
Yeah, obviously a little bit different for those. Yeah,
Different,
different scoring because he has those long.
100-yard bonuses.
Yeah,
and-
plus 40-yard catch, 40-yard touchdown bonus.
So Lockett.
And that's
Ideal
Tyler
guy.
Lockett. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's literally Tyler Lockett right there. So yeah, it amazes me every year, and we always every year it's like, well, since DK Metcalf's been there, it's like, okay, well now DK Metcalf's their best wide receiver, and it's like he might be the most gifted wide receiver on the team.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
But-
No, I still think Metcalf is. I think it's kind of that Antonio Brown effect with Juju.
Oh, when Juju was, I don't know. I would have to look into that to see what he's done without, a number 1 wide receiver on the team. Because before DK, they had Doug Baldwin, and so then Doug Baldwin was the number 1 receiver on the team, and so Tyler Lockett was still doing this thing. I can't remember if it went straight from Baldwin to DK.
No,
There might have been a year in between.
there was someone else there. It's gonna bother me now.
Yeah, but I mean, look, he's incredible. He's Tyler Lockett. That's
I think
what he
people,
does.
I think people are just that scared of DK that they forget about Lockett.
Yeah, well, he's had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. He will easily eclipse that this year if he keeps going.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, plus the extra game, so I would almost guarantee as long as he stays healthy, he's getting 1,000 yards.
Before we lead on to our next thing, I do want to bring up. We're talking about receivers, talking about Tyler and DK. AJ Brown, is it time to start worrying about him with Julio?
No,
No.
I'm not worried about A.J. Brown yet.
He's struggling.
Well, Julio's not taking those targets.
I just
Julio.
did this weekend.
I guess he did a little.
Do you
bit.
have the? If you'll give me, if I can get this.
You want to know who Julio had this weekend?
Well, I was gonna say I can tell you the target,
I have
or
all
do you
my-
have it?
Give me one sec. I'll tell you.
I got it right here.
The target discrepancy this week. Julio had 8 targets. AJ Brown had 9 targets. So no, it's just unfortunately, and
AJ Brown's gonna have some drops.
yes, that's the big issue.
That's what I'm saying.
But
When
I
do you
don't
worry?
I don't worry. Typically, I don't worry about drops until there's a history of it, and this wasn't an issue for him before.
Yeah, I did see something today from PFF about Deontay Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Last year he led the league in drops. This year he has 20 straight receptions of 0 drops, something like that.
Drops is a crazy thing. It's something that usually does not carry over year to year.
Yeah, for sure.
Usually
Unless
doesn't.
you're who was that Cowboys receiver?
CD.
Yeah, no.
Was it-
Stone hands.
Oh, Miles Austin.
Miles Austin.
Oh my gosh, I don't know why I knew exactly who.
He had
Who
that
we're
one
talking
good
about.
season. Everybody went crazy about him.
You know my favorite Cowboys receiver of all time?
Don't say Terrence Williams.
No. Think about it. If you guess
Rocket
who-
Ishmael.
No, I have him on the wall.
Oh, well, that's why I said it.
No, he just came up to milestone. Keyshawn Johnson.
Yeah,
I love Keyshawn.
Keyshawn's good receiver.
Probably one of my favorite sports hosts too.
Oh yeah, he does he's got an ESPN show.
And he was number 19.
Well, so was we had a 19. Well,
Miles-
obviously Cooper
Miles
now.
Austin.
Yeah, Miles Austin. No, but before Bryce Butler. Do you remember Bryce Butler?
Yeah.
God, that guy.
No.
What a diva.
Who was that guy that made it? Remember they used to have that Dallas Cowboys training camp show?
Oh yeah, the Dallas
reality
Cowboys
TV
cheerleader.
show.
Yeah, the cheerleader show.
No, the
yeah,
football
I love that
one.
show.
When they try out, who was that receiver that made the team?
I have no idea.
What?
I do not remember.
But you know what show I'm
at
talking
all.
about, right? They
No.
used to have, they like 5. It was called Average Joe's or something.
Yes.
And they
This
would
was
try
a
out-
long time
yeah.
ago.
And there was a receiver that made the team, and he went off.
Was it Jesse Holly?
That-
Yes,
Yes,
it was.
Jesse
Yes, it was.
Holly.
Yeah.
Yes,
Jesse
because,
Holly,
because he's talked about it on the radio.
Was it?
before,
Oh,
right?
it was
Yeah.
Joe's.
It was-
Joe's against pros or something like that.
No, that was a different show.
But Dallas Cowboys had their own show, and the receiver or whoever
Yeah, it was Jesse
they
Holly.
made
who
Jesse
made the
Holly.
team.
they used to make the team.
They used to talk about that before he was kicked off radio.
Yeah.
What happened?
He got into a really big fight on the radio live
Yeah.
with like a big host.
Yeah. He's a good dude, though. He's a really good dude. But anyway, we
Sorry.
we went down the rabbit hole.
I was talking about Keyshawn Johnson.
We went into the weeds there, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Jesse.
It's a
I
random-
I forgot
It's been a
all
long
about
day.
that,
Huh?
honestly.
Tuesday night, we've all worked.
It's late on a Tuesday right now,
Except
that's
me.
for sure.
If you have any openings for a job, please let me know. I'm currently unemployed.
Well, we got this. Justin, no.
You just brought down the whole year.
It's okay. I got some leads.
You did not just play that.
It's only been a week.
Milestone's always hiring, so.
This is not This is not free advertising or no free advertising.
I've applied to your
If Cameron
company
can be
for
a milestone
3
technician.
times.
No free advertising.
All right. So on to the next subject. After Brooks just brought
We
down
got-
the whole mood.
We just got
It's
lost
okay.
there.
I'm not worried about it. I'm living my best life.
You got stimulus checks to live off of. You're good.
I don't think they're doing those anymore, Justin.
Hey, my wife's getting one. Teachers are getting stimmies.
Oh, nice. Good for the teachers.
I'm a teacher.
No, you're
Where's
not.
my stimmy?
Yep.
You're
make
a fake,
you
fake
make
teacher.
Nah, we're not gonna give that. What's our next?
Our next segment is the kind of just doesn't really have a name to it, but our mindset of how we choose who to start week to week. Because I know a lot of people.
Yeah.
Myself, I go back.
You're
and
the
forth.
well.
I am the worst. I am the worst one. About
This
it.
might not be your area expertise because you are so anal about this. You get so wishy-washy.
Because I trust my gut too much.
Yeah, you do. You've lost some weight,
That's
so
because
maybe you need to
that's
stop
because
doing
I'm a
that.
gambling man, and I like to gamble on my decisions. Just like I might start, is it I don't remember how to pronounce his first name. Cordero
Patterson?
Patterson, yeah.
Cordero.
I might start him. He's
No.
sneaky.
Because he had one.
Wait, am I playing? No, I'm playing Cameron. I was going to say, go ahead and start him, yeah.
No, I have him in my money league.
Side note, me and Brooks are playing each other this week, so we
First cave cheddar matchup.
Yep, first matchup between any of the three of us in one of our leagues
Who
this
will
year.
take the first place spot?
Oh yeah, winner of this will be first place in the league.
No, if I win.
Oh, that's true. Sorry, I forgot you're 2-0.
Who you playing?
JR.
Oh,
Can't
well,
wait to take
he's
him
got
down.
he's got like 3 Eagles on his team. He's gonna lose.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
But sorry, to what I was gonna say about Cordero Patterson is, excuse me, sorry, something came up. He was touchdown dependent last week. He had 2 touchdowns.
56 yards.
2 touchdowns, and so he had 24 points.
56 yards?
Yes.
Yeah.
He had 24 points. 12 of those were directly from touchdowns.
But he also has been taking a lot of touches from Mike Davis. That's what I mean. Potentially, he might become RB1 in Atlanta.
Yeah, but
And you can play him in a wide receiver or running back spot. He's like a filler.
that's true. That is a small plus that he.
That's why I picked him up. I was like, hey, say one of my receivers has a bye week, throw him in there. One of my running backs has a bye week, throw him in there. So I like that. There's also a defensive player who has a tight end spot. I don't even know who his name is, but I was going through all the players available.
That's weird.
Yeah. So
But Gnarly, you wouldn't get his defensive.
that's
stats.
why I looked at it. He doesn't, and I was very. I thought like maybe you could play him at defense.
No,
and
because
get his
it
tight
depends
end
on.
stats.
Well, no, it depends on what your league scoring settings are.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all. It's usually running back, wide receiver, or tight end, wide receiver.
So you know how
too.
cool it would be to have JJ Watt in the IDP league when he was back playing tight end?
Yeah, I don't know
Oh,
how
I
that
forgot
would.
about that.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. I wonder how
Well,
that
See,
would.
most
got-
time though, you have to play it like a certain percentage to have it on your, have it
Yeah.
say it.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have been listed as.
Yahoo has Patterson as wide receiver and running back. They're one of the few.
In our
leagues.
league, it does
Ours
too.
is too.
Sleeper
Our
does
sleeper
too?
does. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking
Yeah.
at it right now.
So, but anyways,
But that's a good example.
that's one of my mindsets. Is I feel like that he's more flexible. No pun intended.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
There, and that would be the only spot that I would start him in is
Is
a
a flex.
flex spot.
Yeah.
Which obviously typically your big start sit decisions are going to be your flex spot
Yeah.
because most people have at least one running back who's a start 'em and forget about him, and at least one receiver who's a start 'em and forget about him. You just play them every week and you don't even think about taking them out.
Yeah.
We have an 8-team league that we play in, so I kind of have 2 of each.
I'm taking that trophy this year.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But
So I guess where I'm trying to get to is Cameron, kind of give us, Cameron, you and Brooks, y'all's mindset behind y'all's everyday GM decisions as a fantasy football owner.
yeah,
Like, what makes you choose? Like, I'm not talking about obviously like Derrick Henry in your lineup every day.
Right.
I don't care if he's playing the best defense in the league. I'm
Right.
talking about your Deontay Johnsons, your. I hate to say it, even your CD Lambs. Defensive matchups. Like, what do you look at?
So obviously it depends. First off, the main thing is, am I in a PPR league or am I in a standard?
Number one decision
Scoring
right there.
For sure.
Number one. For example, in my standard scoring league that I'm in with no PPR, so I'll go based off that. For that one, I kind of look directly at their defensive matchup because when you're in a standard scoring league, obviously in
It's all about
PPR,
yardage.
exactly in PPR, even if you're going up against a bad or a really good defense, you can have a lot of catches, not a lot of yards, but you can still get those points per reception. In standard leagues, without that point per reception, you're dependent on them having a good game. So you want them to be going up against a defense who is, for example, if they're a wide receiver, you want them to go up against a defense who is bottom of the league in terms of yardage given up in the air, in terms of points given up from the pass. So that usually is my main thing, right?
Yeah.
that's going to be my first tiebreaker. Like, if I've got two guys I'm kind of, thinking about for my flex spot.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure.
That's going to be my number one tiebreaker. Who has the better matchup against a defense? My second one after that, if they kind of have similar, if they both have tough matchups or if they both have easy matchups, I'll go for, tough matchups. If they both have tough matchups, typically I'll go for whoever has the better quarterback.
Yeah.
Whoever has the better team.
Whoever has the better O-line if it's running back.
Exactly. What does that defense do well? Do they have a number one shutdown corner? Those are the ones I kind of shy away from. If they've got a shutdown corner on the team, if my guy's going up against the Rams and Jalen Ramsey, I really don't want to start anybody.
But I look at that and think
the number two receiver.
The number two receiver.
Yes.
Like, for example, this weekend, I'm starting Jones Jr. over Chark.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's the number two, and I just feel like in my gut that their defense against the pass.
Who's Jacksonville playing?
They were playing Arizona. So they give up a lot of yards in the air, and they're going to be more focused on the number one receiver.
For that one, it's kind of, I don't think you go wrong with
either one.
That's another one where just last week, Adam Thielen, against the Cardinals, the Vikings played them last week. Thielen scored, Justin Jefferson scored. They both had good games, right? So that's kind of one of those where it's like if you've seen previous. I look at what other teams with how do I say this? Like
What
players
other teams have done against them.
similar players, like similar team setups. What did they do against that defense, right?
Similar skill sets.
Yeah, something like that.
How often do you look at last year's how they did against that team last year?
If they played the team
Only
last year, I will look at that. But
see, I never look at that.
I will,
because teams change.
Yeah, that's a tough one because it depends on. There's so many factors that go into it. Obviously, it depends on how much that defense changed. It depends on how much that offensive player's team changed. Was he a number one receiver last year and now he's number two? Or vice versa. Did they get a quarterback in the offseason that now they're better? So I will look at it. If a player just has a history of destroying a team, then obviously that's good to know. So you're never going to be hurt by getting more information. I always like to exhaust every single resource for one of my flex spots. So I will look at history, of that matchup. Obviously, that's a little tougher if they're a rookie, but if the team played them, how well did the team throw against them? Things like that.
That's fair. You got anything to add to that?
not to that really.
What else would you think about?
Sometimes, so I'm looking at my team right now to kind of give an example. So here's one, for example. In our standard scoring league, we have 3 wide receivers starting. Amari Cooper is one of my receivers in the league. He's going up against the Eagles this week, who, no, I will not say the Eagles have a good defense. You will not get me on record saying that. But so far through 2 weeks, they've given up the fourth. They've only given up 160 yards passing so far through 2 games. So that kind of worries me about Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
On my bench, Michael Pittman Jr. Michael Pittman, who a couple weeks ago we were saying we loved Michael Pittman. Funny enough, he had a terrible week 1 and absolutely freaking went off last week.
Mm-hmm.
Last week he had, let me see real quick, 8 catches, 123 yards, just crazy. Anyway, they're going up against the Titans. Well, the Titans have given up the most passing yards so far through 2 games. So that's one where it's you wouldn't normally think that would be a tough decision. Amari Cooper, Michael Pittman. Who would you rather have? Amari Cooper. It's a no-brainer. But when Cooper's going up against one of the stingiest defenses against the pass, and Pittman's coming off a good game and going up against a terrible pass defense, that's where it becomes difficult. Currently, I have Pittman in there.
Even with Jacob Eason?
even with Jacob Eason, maybe. That's one, like I said, again, that's another thing. I'll have to look at, I'm going to have to go see if they played with each other in the preseason, because obviously that's what we have to go off of with Eason. So if Pittman played with him in the preseason, how did they look? What was their targets, things like that. But for me, it's kind of like it depends on what your philosophy is. Would you rather have, and this one I think is a really good example for it, would you rather have the better player, which is obviously Cooper, coming off a bad week,
Or the better
playing up against a bad matchup, or would you have the lesser player coming off, who's shown he can have a really good week, and who's going up against a much, much favorable matchup, right? It kind of, at that point, it kind of gets taken, like, we can help, like, we can give you all these resources and things to, take into consideration. But at that point, it's really just which do you prefer?
Yeah. No, I get it. Like, this week in one of my leagues, I'm starting, obviously DJ Moore's a great receiver, but I'm starting DJ Moore over Jamar Chase just because the matchup. Panthers are playing Texans on a Thursday night matchup. It's going to be explosive. It's going to be a high-scoring game on the Panthers side of the ball. And I'm sitting Chase because he's going against Pittsburgh, and you never know what that defense is going to do.
Yeah, especially with the weaker Bengals O-line.
And Pittsburgh coming off a loss.
Yeah.
They do not lose back-to-back games.
Exactly. So
and that's, again, that goes back to it. You got to know who they're playing. I do look a lot at, that I just brought that up, at what they did last week. I do. It's kind of funny.
Sometimes it bites me in the
Yeah, like I just said, Pittsburgh is coming off a bad week. They lost. They're going to want to do really good this week.
Yeah.
They're going to want to shut down Jamar Chase. Now, with that, they have 3 receivers. It's like, who are they going to take out?
I'm actually starting Pittsburgh. I'm starting Claypool because Deontay Johnson might be done for the week.
Right. That it also goes into it. Are there injuries around your teammates? There's
all kinds of factors.
There's so many factors.
I think the main factor I come down to is just matchup.
I think I've kind of said a lot of things to come back to. I'm starting the matchup over the player. Now I might change that come to the weekend based on how I'm feeling then. But like I said, it kind of just comes down to, you got to, at some point, look at for me at least, I don't have a problem exhausting every resource that I have available. Everything we mentioned, looking up stats, looking up history, matchup, yada yada. If that is something that helps you, do it. If you feel like that's gonna, be too much information on you, go just to the main stuff. This week's matchup.
How often do you go off projections? It's like the last question I got for y'all.
I hate
You never asked me what I do.
I thought y'all were going together. My bad.
Yeah, kind of together.
Yeah, you've been putting in your input.
So here's my big thing, especially in our league.
Yeah.
6 of my 7 starters are every week starters.
Yeah.
My biggest issue I have, Myles Gaskin and
I would say
Joe Mixon.
I would say your biggest issue you have is that you have to face me twice this year. But
I'm not worried about that. I won't beat you. I'm not worried about you.
Is Myles Gaskin and Joe Mixon.
Yeah.
I don't think that's much of a decision.
Yeah, start Mixon all day, every day over that.
Well, here's the thing. This week, Mixon
like
is
you said,
playing
they're up against Pittsburgh. Yeah.
Yeah, Pittsburgh. So I'm going to bench him.
Miami's playing, is it Denver?
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas.
Their rush defense is shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start Myles Gaskin this week.
Yeah, but also
plus they have a good pass rush. Yeah. Again, that is a really good one to bring up right there, Brooks.
I know.
Because that I think kind of is similar to my situation where Mixon's the better player, Gaskin has the better matchup.
Yeah.
Which do you prefer?
Mixon might not need a fixin' this year.
Ooh. So you had that's your 1 a week Joe Mixon joke. Yeah. Again, that's
Joe Mixon's doing good.
No. I like Joe Mixon.
I love
Well-
Joe Mixon. He's part of my Bengals.
Well, I picked up Chris Evans because I know Mixon's gonna get hurt. So
Mixon had a great week 1 against a okay defense.
Who they play? So Cincinnati in week 1 played Minnesota.
Minnesota, yeah. And then last week against Chicago, a bad defense, he only had 8 points.
How many carries did he have last? Because week 1 he had like 30 carries. How many did he have last week?
He still had 20 carries and only had 8 points.
So
20
that's
carries and
then
69
that's
yards.
another thing that I also look at
Volume.
for
Yeah.
running backs more so than receivers. Volume.
Yeah.
How many carries are they getting per week? What's their snap percentage per week? You know, are they getting like a lot more snaps than the backup?
yeah,
I don't know what Gaskins has been,
Almond hasn't been getting that much, and you know,
and Malcolm Brown, not either.
Yeah.
Malcolm Brown kind of just disappeared in that offense.
But I do think they're going to run the ball a lot this week
Yeah.
against.
Yeah,
So
Las
here's the thing.
Vegas.
So Gaskin week 1 had 9 carries
Mhm.
against New England. That's not great.
what did is it Ahmed? Ahmed?
Yeah, it's
Ahmed.
Salvin Ahmed.
How many did he have?
Last week
Like 6.
he had 6 carries
Yeah.
to
I don't
Gaskin's
know, man.
5. But the
I got
that-
a photographic
that's
memory. I
well,
remember looking at all these
that's a
stats.
problem for last week. They were down. They were getting killed by
Yeah.
the Bills.
And
So
here's the
the
thing,
run
with
game kind
Tua
of gets
being
thrown out
hurt
of it.
this week, especially against a weak run defense,
You would like them to lean on the run.
yes.
But
which
then-
is what I'm thinking.
But then you kind of think about it from Vegas' standpoint. They're not going to be scared of the pass. They got Jacoby Brissett in there.
Yeah.
They're probably going to be dialed up to stop the run. They're going to have 7-8 man box to try to stop the run and say, hey, beat us by the air.
But I still think he's going to have a better game.
So
Then that's what it comes down to, right?
Yeah,
Is
I know.
who do you believe is going to have a
obviously
better game?
we've said projections are nonsense. Don't go.
Oh
off.
yeah, I've told I know I've said it to Justin before, like off air. I hate projections. They
Yeah, I do.
literally
too.
they make me mad. I know you like projections.
I like
you say
projections.
yeah. That's all I hear from you is, well, I'm projected to win by a I'm projected to win by
Justin
a
is a ranking slave.
Yeah. Justin loves him some projections.
I
I
go
do
off
not
to
care.
statistics.
I don't know how many times I've been projected to lose like every single game and then I make the playoffs.
Well, the way I look at projections is I look at it as my floor. Like I don't look at it as my ceiling.
no, of course, but
So like I say,
I also
say Devontae Adams is projected 15. I look at him like, okay, that means he's gonna get like 23. Like that's the way I look at it.
That's
He's
not-
not gonna get lower than 15.
That's fair, I guess. But then I look at like on mine. So on our league, I've got Najee Harris, who
He's projected 12 points.
no in our PPR league,
Oh.
he's projected almost 17 points. Well, he had a terrible week 1. He only got to 17 last week because he ended up in the end zone.
Yeah, 40-yard reception.
Yeah, and had those catches, and like, so I don't necessarily know. They, at least with Sleeper, they definitely like offense. They definitely like their points.
They overproject everything.
They kind of do.
Yahoo's a lot
Yeah.
more reasonable.
Yahoo
Under-
under projects
But that's why I like-
like crazy. That's another thing. It also makes me. I'm like, there's no way.
Yeah,
Like,
Sam Darnold's projected 22 points against the Texans.
That's realistic.
yeah.
I don't think so. He threw for 20. He had 24 points against New Orleans.
Oh, really?
Was it New Orleans?
Yeah, last week. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's who they played.
So he'll have more than that.
Oh, for sure.
That's what I was saying, yeah.
I will be honest, and this is kind of like a wild card here that I go to. I love Thursday night matchups.
I do too.
If I have a guy playing Thursday night and
I
they're
think it's
kind of
just
my
the anticipation of the weekend.
maybe it is just me wanting to have somebody in there like while I'm watching the game, but also Thursday night games are usually high scoring.
That's what I said earlier.
Go look at the history of Thursday night games. Points are scored.
Because they're coming off a short week, the defenses are starting
tired.
A little tired.
Yeah.
They're
It's tough to play
huge
defense.
games.
I agree.
So if you have a guy, this is at least
I have
me.
McCaffrey.
This
too.
is at least me. I love playing Thursday night guys. Unfortunately, that's why I hate. I'll see last Thursday they were advertising this week's game.
Mhm.
My first thought was, oh crap, I got like nobody.
Yeah.
I have DJ Moore in one league, a couple.
Is it
leagues.
on Amazon Prime again?
I don't know. I have
Maybe.
DirecTV, so.
Yeah. Might have to just for football season. Get the I've got on my Hulu. They'll have.
I have
my-
Sunday tickets. I've watched every game. So I don't know.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's on usually on NFL.
I'll be here Thursday night.
Yeah, there you go.
That's
Just
fine.
come over here. I was gonna say usually it's on at least. Oh, that's right. It had been on Fox in previous years,
On ESPN.
but I think they canceled. They just had a new TV deal, right? So I think Fox doesn't have Thursday nights anymore. So I think now it's NFL
Yeah,
Network.
because I think a lot of like streaming services are trying to get into like football games.
YouTube TV.
Well, no. So for the first Fox Thursday game is going to be week 5. So the first 4 weeks are just NFL Network exclusive. That's what it
Yeah.
is. Then we're getting into Fox, and I think later in the year we get. No, maybe not this year. I was going to say I thought like Yahoo or like something had a game this year, something crazy like that.
I watch games on Yahoo all the time. On fantasy. They
I'm,
have-
I'm ready for a SpongeBob game again.
That was awful.
SpongeBob game.
Anyways,
No, that was fun.
That was awesome.
It was fun for 1 quarter, and then I was
Yeah.
like, I am way too old for this. I am not the target
so
demographic.
to conclude our segment, I think Christian McCaffrey is going to have a Derrick Henry kind of night Thursday.
Which Texans player is going to be good?
Brandon Cooks.
There you go, Colin. I hope you're happy.
Other than that, so
Jeez,
kind
that
of
guy.
between y'all two, what would you say the 3 things that we went over about deciding who to start? What are the 3 most important factors? Cameron, you pick one. Brooks picks one, and I'll pick one.
Matchup.
Yeah, I mean, I think matchup's the biggest thing too.
So we're all just going to agree. That's
Okay,
fine with me.
you can have matchup. Yeah, matchup. No, I'm kidding. For me, it is going to be.
You said matchup. You can go with matchup.
Yeah, okay, fine. I'll go with matchup. That's what I look at
It's the
most.
easiest. It's the most simplest thing.
You look at matchup too?
Oh yeah. I mean, every week I'm looking at matchups. Like you just saw me, I looked at
So,
it Tuesday and knew I was starting
my big thing is-
Gaskin this week.
My biggest thing is previous volume. If the guy had 18 targets the week before, he's probably going to have a lot of targets next week, in my opinion.
I don't like that though, because like sometimes they play a weak team toward like, or a team with a good corner, so wide receiver 2's getting a bunch of targets, then next week they can play a team with a bad corner and wide receiver 3 and wide receiver 1's getting a bunch of targets too.
Yeah, and for me, my worry on that is maybe I have too much faith in NFL defenses, but like they're watching film, they're gonna know this guy had 18 targets last week or whatever number you said.
but a good
They're like,
offense.
all right, we're gonna shut him down.
A good offense learns how to get somebody open, especially in the second half.
Oh, of course.
Just like yesterday,
that's what the
Packers,
Cowboys do.
Detroit shut
Cowboys have a
Adams
great
down. In
offense.
the second half, they came out and he had 100 yards receiving on those. So
Yeah, well, they were.
I'm still mad about that.
God, Aaron Jones, man.
I had Aaron Jones as my captain and took him out last second.
Oh, you didn't.
Yeah.
dude, you would have got a lot of bumps.
I would have had a lot of money.
I had
Yeah.
Rodgers as my captain, so he got 4 touchdowns. But,
Yeah.
Aaron Jones cost me $200. So.
but that's
You
all
hate
I
Aaron
got.
Jones?
That's all I got for today. Y'all got anything else to add on?
JR, you can suck it. The Eagles suck.
Yes, they do.
Fly Eagles fly.
You're not doing this. Oh, yeah. So here's the other thing. For next week's show, we're going to be watching the Cowboys and Eagles game.
So there might be a little
So
live stream going at the same time we do our podcast.
So you're gonna
It
hear a
won't
lot
be
of
live,
I will
but
say-
it'll be a phone call.
No. This will be. What am I trying to say? This is the tease for next week because it's gonna be a good, reason to tune in. I don't know what I'm gonna say next week. I'll just say that I don't know what I'm gonna say.
I know what you're gonna
Watching
say.
the Cowboys.
Prescott, what are you doing?
Oh, I don't ever say that.
And he
faith in
shot
my
puts
man,
the
Dad.
ball.
No. I did say it last week when he
Yeah.
just airmailed. Hey, I don't look. He had a little too much juice in his arm. He airmailed one throw. Whatever.
Too much steroids to him.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yes, next week these freaking Cowboy homers.
Hey, JR.
playing against the Eagles.
What kind of bet you want to make? Hit me up.
JR doesn't want to bet with you.
Yes, he does.
JR don't want this bet.
Anyways, to conclude, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching on YouTube. Don't forget to click that subscribe button at the bottom. We would truly appreciate it. Help us reach our goal.
We love you guys.
And we truly appreciate y'all. So listen to us on Spotify, Tune in on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, all the social medias to stay alert to what we got. And that's all I got. My name's Justin.
I'm Cameron.
I'm Brooks.
Later.
Peace.
Adios.